Hello and welcome. The DV Lottery website is open for the DV Lottery 2024. All those people who have been waiting for it to be open, it's now time for you to go and apply, because it's only 35 days which are available for you to apply. If you don't apply within this time, you'll need to wait another full year. So take advantage of the time which is given, which is from October 5th, 2022 to November 8th, 2022. So I want to show you the form, because the requirements and the form are already open, so we can access them by this time. And different people in different countries, different regions, the ones which qualify are allowed now to go and submit the application. So the instructions are so many. It's a 26-page instruction, but the changes very few, and most of them are as it was previous years. So the biggest change is that now we don't need the passport, travel passport, to do the DV Lottery 2024 application. So this is a good thing, because most people have been asking me, Jackson, do we need a passport to apply for DV Lottery 2024? And the answer is right now with us, we do not need the passport. So it might be a disadvantage for many, because then again, so many people will apply for these times DV lotteries. So you expect the numbers to be so high. And in a lottery like this one, if the numbers again are so high, you'd expect a competition to be high too. So the same way it is an advantage to some of us who don't have a travel passport, but it's also a disadvantage. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about the form, because the form is already with us, and what you'll need to fill in the DV lottery. And the first slot in the DV lottery application form, it asks for the entrance information, that is the principal applicant. And I'm reading from a form which I was able to print from the website. So you'll need to fill your names, the last family name, the first name, and the middle name in the order. And to make sure that you understand what is required to be filled, fill your names as they appear in your travel passport. So if they appear in a certain order, make sure that you fill them as they are, so that you don't miss out. The other thing is you need to fill your gender, and in this case it's either male or female. The third bit is a birth date. So you'll select the day you are born, month and year. So don't mix up, start with the day, the month and the year, because they're in that format. The other thing, which is the fourth bit, you'll need to fill the city where you're born. And this is another contentious issue, but I like to say this. If you want to correctly fill the day, the city, I mean the city where you're born, because in USA they treat each town as a city. And in Africa we have like each country has like 2 or 3 cities which they call cities, like Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Abuja, name them Kigali, and name them like Kampala. But in this case, you'll need to fill what is written in your birth certificate or in your travel passport as where you were born. So you might have been born in, for example, in Kakamega. You might have been born in Mombasa. You might have born in Kisumu. You might have been born in Eldoret. Name them, all these cities, what is written on your travel passport as where you were born. I hope I'm clear on that. So the sixth part is a country of eligibility for the DV program. And I'd like to stress this. The country of eligibility for the DV program is the country where you were born, and your passport states that you were born in that country. If you acquired nationality or citizenship in another country, that is not your country of eligibility. So for example, you were born in India and you got citizenship of Kenya, you'll not be able to apply, because your country of eligibility is India, because you are born in India. Otherwise, for people who are born in eligible countries, like in Africa, it's just one country which is not eligible to apply for the DV lottery. That is Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate. It is because of they have many Nigerians already who are living and who have already migrated to the US. They usually review these requirement each and every 5 years. So you wait for 5 years for the numbers if they change, but it's not easy for Nigeria. In Asia, it's India, Philippines. Those countries are not applying, including Hong Kong. Those countries are not applying for the DV lottery because under the DV lottery 2024, they are not qualified. So that is it about the country of eligibility. Entrant photograph, that is the seventh part in this form. You'll need your passport photo, and in this case I know the passport photo is a very major pain point for the DV lottery. So make sure that your passport photo has all the requirements which are stipulated by the DV Lottery 2024 as a requirement. It's common even for other kinds of visas. So make sure that your passport photo is not does not have a shadow. Make sure that it has a white background or off-white, and make sure that it's not older than 6 months, because some people try to apply using the passport photo which they used in the last DV lottery. You'll disqualify yourself. Also make sure that your passport photo is a square, and a good example is 2 inches by 2 inches square, so it's equal both sides. So if this side is 2 inches, the other side is 2 inches, and needs to be at least 600 by 600 pixels, and less than 240 kilobytes. So for those specifications, because I know they are technical for some people, you need to go to the photo studio where they do professional photos, and be specific to them. Tell them, I want a DV lottery passport photo, so that you don't miss out. And make sure that you check them yourself. Make sure that all your facial features are visible. If it's the ears, they need to be visible. And also make sure that your facial expression is neutral, because then again they don't need the passport photo they don't need you to be so smiley or so angry on the DV lottery passport photo. About children, taking a passport photo for children, I know that is another major pain point. So I'll say this because there is the instruction. The instructions say that you can lay the child down having placed a sheet or something which is white background, and take a photo from above. So you need to take the camera and do like this, the way you see me demonstrating. You can also sit the child on a car seat, and make sure that the background is white. You can use a sheet, you can use anything which is white or off-white. So make sure that the child passport photos are good. Also make sure that they don't have shadows, and the photo quality is not bad, because then again, even if it's the child's photo which is not good, it will disqualify the whole application. So that is it about part 7. So you'll select the photograph file name and upload it. Mailing address, I know this is another issue, but it's not big. So you can select a mailing address for the any institution, be it a primary school, be it an hospital, be it a school, be it a university, and input there. It's not such a big problem, and it's not will not disqualify you to be selected. The number 9 is country where you live today. The country where you live today is important in this case, because if you win, by good chance you win, and most of my listeners will win, because then again, I'm positive. The country where you live today is important because that is where by default that is the country you'll need to go for the visa interview. But I would like to say this before I forget. You can change and adjust the name, the country where you do the visa interview. Once you win, you can change while filling the DS-260 to a country where you will be at the time of the application. Phone number, just kindly fill your phone number. Otherwise, it's optional. Email address, part 11. Email address. Make sure that you fill your personal email address, and if it's someone who is doing the application for you for the DV lottery, be it your friend, be it a person at the cyber, a computer shop, make sure that they fill your email address. And I cannot be able to stress this enough, because it's very important, because some people take advantage and extort money from people if you win, and they use their email address. Those are unscrupulous people, and there are so many. Part 12 talks about what is the highest level of education you have achieved, and I know this is another major issue, and I'd like to say this. If you finished, you need to have finished at least secondary school, 12 years of formal education. So that means 8 years of primary school and 4 years of maybe secondary school. I know it's different in different countries, but make sure that it is 12 years of elementary and secondary school at least. And I know the grades differ, but for people in Kenya, they know you need to have scored at least D- and above for that for your certificate to be acceptable. Those people who are continuing the education, maybe at university, you will just state that you have some university courses because you're already in university. For those people who have diplomas, what we call diplomas in Africa and other countries, in terms of the DV lottery, there is no provision for the diploma, so that you might consider just selecting high school degree because you have a high school degree. Because a high school degree doesn't mean a undergraduate degree. It means that you have what we call a secondary school certificate. So you can fill either high school degree, vocational school, some university courses, university degree, some graduate level courses, master's degree, some doctorate level courses, or doctorate degree. So kindly select the one which suits you, and be careful because then again that can disqualify you. What is your current marital status? This is another issue, and this is because many of our families are not straightforward, and most of our families, people are living together but they don't have a marriage certificate. This is another issue. So if you are living together and you can demonstrate that you've been living together, go ahead and do the application as married. Then after doing the application for the DV lottery, you need to go and look for a marriage certificate, either by holding an elaborate church wedding or mosque wedding, whichever, and formalize your wedding, your marriage, that is. If it's a customary marriage, you can also, in some countries like Kenya, they allow you to formalize your customary marriage. So you can go to the Attorney General's office and formalize your marriage from there. That is it for married people who are living together but without a marriage certificate. Otherwise, you'll be able to demonstrate that you are married at the time of the application by way of showing joint ownership of properties, joint statements of account, joint and many other things you've done jointly, including photos you took in the year 2014, 2015, 2016, whichever year together, and you still have children together. That is proof that you are married. It's just that you do not have the marriage certificate. So if you're married to a spouse, not a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent, the second option is married and my spouse is not a U.S. citizen or U.S. lawful permanent resident. Married and my spouse is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. Divorced, widowed, or legally separated. So you can select, if you are married to your spouse, you can select the second option, which is married and my spouse is not a U.S. citizen or a U.S. lawful permanent resident. Otherwise, if your spouse is a lawful U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, you'll still need to declare that. You can also need to declare that you are divorced, and this should be backed by a divorce certificate or decree at the time of application. So if the proceedings are still in court, you are technically married to that person. Kindly go ahead and also fill their name in the DV lottery. If you are widowed, you'll need to demonstrate that by way of a marriage certificate and a death certificate. Legally separated, this means that you are separated by a court of law. This is for people who are married, but the court has told them, has instructed them to live separately. So you'll also need to demonstrate by way of a court order to show that you are legally separated. So the number 14 is a number of children. You'll need to declare the number of children you have. And in this part, they are called derivatives. So you'll fill their last family name, their first name, and the middle name. So if you want to be clear, go to the birth certificate of the child and fill the names as they are in the birth certificate. If you have taken their travel passport, you can also follow the order in which the names are. And the other bit is 13D. You need to select the birth date of the child, select day, month, year, gender of the child, the city. Oh, this is for the spouse. It's not about the child. Sorry. Part 13 is about the spouse. Sorry. So you'll enter the name of the spouse, the birth date, their gender, city where the spouse was born, and the country where the spouse was born. Then also include their passport photo of the spouse. That is, sorry, I was thing is for the child. So the next bit is bit 14 is for children. Go ahead and fill the children's name, family name, that is last name, first name, and middle name, their birth date, which is day, month, year. You also need to fill their gender, the gender of the child. If it's male or female, you need to select correctly. Kindly don't make mistakes in terms of filling these things, because they might haunt you in future. Also the city where the child was born, it is in the birth certificate. Go and fill as it is. So the country where the child was born, you also need to indicate that, and input their passport photo. And those passport photo, they need to be following the DV Lottery 2024 instructions. So anyway, go ahead and apply for the DV Lottery. I don't want this video to be so long. We'll be doing applications for people who are interested. So I'll put a payment method for those people who want us to do the application for them. They'll need to send us their document, their passport photos, so that we do the application for them if you are incapacitated. Anyway, let's try our luck. It's a once in a year opportunity for you to immigrate and go and work and study and participate in other activities in the US, which is not easy to get by our standards. Anyway, if you are not subscribed to this channel, I'll request you to subscribe and like this video, share it to at least one person, so that we help each other in this period of application. And I'll be doing many videos about the DV Lottery in this year. Thank you very much.